Okay, guys, Deadpoolzilla and myself are back once again, and not the full Trinity, but two members of the Trinity are
Yeah, you
here.
can call it world finest.
Yeah, and we're here to basically talk about the episode that aired today, episode 22, entitled Ultron 5. Yeah, so right there gives you the sense of who's in this episode. Probably most one of the most recognizable Avengers villains ever was the main focus in this episode. Uh, this episode was really good. Okay, really good. The beginning episode, we see the Avengers in the subways fighting the Serpent Society. Uh, we saw Anaconda, Bushmaster, Death Adder, and Rattler. And basically, they take a hostage. And Tony's like, okay, guys, stand down. We'll give you the keys to the Quinjet. You can go free. And Thor says, you're not really... No, Cap says, you're not really serious about that, are you? No. No, I'm not. Avengers, take a member and take him down. But lo and behold, who comes up?
Ant-Man comes in, and is it cool if I explain this part?
Yeah, go ahead, hit it.
Ant-Man comes in, and because everyone's on the edge, and there's a innocent civilian in the wake, and he's trying to talk to Cobra because he was an inmate before the breakout, and he was trying to talk to Cobra, and he's like, just let the guy go and work something out. And Cobra doesn't believe it for a second. He even says that we were told by Madam Hydra that we were supposed to do this. But the bad thing is that Madam Hydra, she's on the Skrull homeworld probably.
Exactly.
The real one, anyway.
Exactly. Hit it.
For those who don't know, if you forgot that episode called The Widow's Sting, I think that's the name of the episode, we saw at the end of that episode that when they brought in Madam Hydra, she wasn't human, she was a Skrull.
Right. So from there, like we've been saying, and I've been saying over, the pacifist of the team is Ant-Man. He's not really the fighter of the type. He doesn't always like to fight, and the violence is getting to him. But everybody's like, Hank, we can't reason with these guys. We got to take them down. And even Jan was like, they're villains. Just hit them, basically. And there's a fight between the Serpent Society and the Avengers, which is really funny. Steve is fighting...
I think it was Bushmaster.
I think it was Bushmaster. He was fighting. Thor was going at Anaconda through a train at Thor, and Death Adder was going after Clint, and he actually hit hit Clint and almost poisoned him. I think in his arm. I could be wrong about it. I think that was, but I know
I think he fractured his arm.
Yeah, I think he fractured his arm, and the Avengers take out the Serpent Society. And after that,
funny too.
Go ahead, hit it.
It's funny too because when Cap's fighting Bushmaster tries to speed him.
Yeah, that was. I thought that was funny. Bushmaster actually tries to swallow Steve, and all you see is a mouth over Steve, and all you see is Steve's legs moving around. And
the other thing is that we get to see also Clint when he's fighting Death Adder. They fall into another sewer, like a tunnel, and then when the Serpent Society is trying to retreat, Death Adder's trying to climb out with him, but all you see is Clint's hand, and he's dragging him back in.
Yeah, so that was funny. And then once again, the team is really on alert with Hank. Like, you can't always be a pacifist all the time. You could be a pacifist, but even you got to sometimes think like there's no change in these guys. And that's where Hank basically quits the team. He says, I quit. And we move on to the Avengers Mansion. And in there, basically, Hank is talking to one of his Ultron robots, and Ultron still, if you notice, people, his mouth part, which was usually blue, it was still red, like the traditional Ultron. And Ultron is talking to him. Ultron's voice I didn't like, and I think Tyler will agree with me. I think he didn't sound like.
What are you doing?
I think Ultron's voice really could have been a little better. What did you think about his voice, T?
Like I told you before, I think it sounded like one of those old Macintosh computer voices where, if you guys remember those old Apple or Macintosh computers where you could play with the voice and make it say funny stuff, like a little robot computer voice.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like.
Okay. Yeah, and Hank is telling Ultron about, this and that, trying to end violence. And unfortunately, what happens is we're starting to get system hacks all over the mansion. Defense systems are going down. Tony's armor is going down. Jarvis is being compromised. Everything.
You know who else we forgot about?
Who?
When Hulk and Panther showed up.
Okay. And before that, guys, before the system started to shut down, Hulk and Panther had captured the Red Ghost and his super gorillas, his super apes. And Hulk said they weren't so super to me. T'Challa said Red Ghost was trying to attack the Fantastic Four, but they weren't home. So that was kind of funny. And they dropped them. So once again, we got more people that escaped. They captured them. And that's when the system started to shut down more and more. But also, once again, we see Tony and Thor, which actually now Thor is asking for Tony's help. Because maybe technology now can help him open a portal to Asgard. Tony's kind of basically loving this, like, you're coming to me for help, even saying you're sorry about this and everything like that. And, of course I'm going to help you, but I can't, I got to, almost like I got to take a picture of this, the mighty Thor asking for my help, and that's when the system started to shut down. And lo and behold, Ultron just knocks the hell out of Ant-Man, and everything goes haywire from there. It was an inside job, pretty much, and Ultron was done.
People,
yeah.
I'm sorry, Chris.
No, go ahead, hit it.
Keep in mind, people, that Ultron's been planning a move like this since episode 20.
Exactly.
He was behind Radioactive Man.
Even maybe even farther than that. Ever since after them finishing defeating Kang.
Yeah, he's been keep in mind, people. This episode shows why Ultron is my favorite Marvel comic villain.
Mm-hmm. He definitely he was planning this, and he even said it. Because he even talked about how he can't kill Janet because of his program, but he has no problem killing anybody, killing the other Avengers, which was kind of interesting. And Ultron is just really devious in this episode, which I loved. I was like, wow, this is really good. They did him very well done. He hacked Iron Man's suit, and he had Iron Man fighting Thor, and Thor actually started wailing on Iron Man because he didn't know. He even shut off Iron Man's speakers so he couldn't talk. And Thor just was like, I don't know why you're attacking me, but I'm going to defend myself. And finally, Tony was able to get some kind of control over it. So he actually told Thor to take me out and take me out of the mansion, but try to get away from the radius of Ultron. And Thor did that. And we go back into the mansion. Even before that, Ultron took out the powerhouse, another one of the powerhouse of the team, the Hulk. he took one of the
He
Quin.
launched him into space.
He launched him into space with the other Quinjet, and the team is fighting. The rest of the team is fighting Ultron. Cap, Janet was captured. Cap and T'Challa was fighting Ultron. Ultron was able to catch his shield, and almost like analyze it. He was analyzing the shield right there. I was like, oh, that's cool. I thought that was really interesting to see him actually analyze the shield right there. Doot, doot, doot. And he was just like, it's inevitable. You guys are, I know how to defeat every one last one of you. Which was cool. I know everything about all you. And then all of a sudden, Janet says, you don't know everything about me. And she, instead of shrinking, she grows, which I was wondering when they were going to have her do anyway. Because she has the Pym particles in her, just like Hank. And that's what happens. She grows really big, and she, wow, just smashes Ultron. And then she like, I guess in this they making it like if she does that, she'll lose her strength, because she went right back to being her normal size really quick after she did that. Then we go back to Thor and Tony, and Tony's got a little bit of control, and he actually says, Thor, hit me with everything you got. And Thor, I love how Thor talks, nay, I can't do that, and he's just do it, and he just hits him with it and just shocks the hell out of Tony. He falls. Thor catches him and shuts down his armor, and he gets a little signal where everything is happening, and it was coming from the mansion once again. He even knows who it is now, Ultron. They fly back to the mansion while T'Challa and Steve are still trying to hold their own. Finally, we see Hulk break out of the Quinjet, still with Red Ghost, as basically what I talked about, how he is a hero. He didn't let Red Ghost and his Supergirl die. He's holding on to them while he's flying back to Earth, and the friction heat, basically he's re-entering Earth, which was really cool. But he's taking it,
Then what is we should talk about what Ultron does that really hits the team.
Oh yeah, finally, when Steve, Tony, and Thor come back into the scene, Thor, have at thee, goes at Ultron, and then he just shoots a beam, and Thor almost literally disintegrates or just disappears. And that just devastated the team right there. Thor fell. The mighty Thor.
The hammer was still there.
The hammer was there, but Thor was gone. And it was like, whoa, and that got the team riled up, and Ant-Man comes back into the fray, and they're even saying, I'm like, look, he just took out Thor now, I agree, and the pacifist is gone now. He goes at Ultron 2, turns big and smashes him one time.
Tony gets in switches armors.
Yeah, Tony switches armors, actually, which is really, he goes back to his first prototype armor, the big clunky gray armor, and he says there's no technology in this one, but and that was cool. I thought that was cool to see him go back into his classic armor. Hulk comes back and rips Ultron apart, because basically he was like, point me in a direction of something to smash. And then basically Hank said, okay, Ultron's there, and then he just smashes Ultron. Ultron tries to do the same thing to Hulk that he did to Thor, not working. And he just rips Ultron apart, and that was it. But it was really good to see Ultron really take it to the Avengers like that. It was really good. I really enjoyed this episode. I knew Ultron was coming, and I'm glad that
how he came to the scene was a big shock.
Yeah, how he came to the scene was big. The building up to him was great. In the end, Hank now
doesn't want to be doesn't want to be the part of the team.
He doesn't still want. Yeah, Hank still doesn't want to be a part of the team, but he also now is blaming himself even more for Thor's disappearance, for almost creating Ultron. Basically, Tony even goes to him like,